What's up everybody, it's Tom from BlackoutGamersUK and I'm back and I'm doing videos and I'm doing a review on Skyrim Dragonborn. It is the new DLC which takes us back to the good old island of Solstein, which people will remember from Morrowind and the Blood Moon DLC which they did for that. And I have to say, in a weird gamery sort of way, it's nice to be back. It's like I've come home, kind of, not. But in all honesty, this DLC looks amazing. It plays fantastic. I've only had a few glitches and a few bugs, which is very good considering they rolled it out yesterday. Nothing's gone wrong for me yet, and the story was brilliant. It took me about 7 or 8 hours, and as with Elder Scrolls, you can tell you're getting near the end of the story, but you just don't want it to end. So my only problem with the DLC at the moment is that the main story was not long enough, but also, you know, you can't blame that because everybody just wants the game to keep going and lasting forever, but it just can't happen. These are a new enemy called the Ash Spawn. They appeared like 100 years ago in Elder Scrolls lore when Vardenfall, the volcano that we saw in the background, for those of you that don't know what it is, it erupted and just basically sent shit everywhere. It destroyed like half of Morrowind and a bit of Solstein. I'll explain. Well, we'll see on the scenery, actually, when we get there. The music, fantastic. Jeremy Soul's outdone himself. It feels like you've gone back to Morrowind with the music. It's not just the music taken from Skyrim and kind of just layered over it. You've got an entire new kind of atmospheric track running over the whole thing. And it just made it so much better. If they'd used the same music that they've used in Skyrim, it wouldn't have worked, because that music is all Nordic, whereas Morrowind isn't. It's Dark Elf. It's fantastic. We got new armor types and weapon types. We've got Bone Mold, we've got Chichin, and also Stolherm is back, but I'm not going to be able to show you any of that because I haven't been able to craft it. You need to go and do a whole load of quests to actually unlock it, and that's a very big achievement. Not like an achievement. Ooh, that's an achievement. More like, ooh, that's some gamer score achievement. We've also got Nordic equipment, which is nice. I never thought of that being a separate tree, but it actually really works. The armour looks amazing. The weapons look really cool. And it's the kind of armour that I'm wearing now because I just love the look of it. So it's nice that they're not only adding a whole new area, they're bringing back old armour favourites and adding in new ones. I really like that. We might as well talk about the achievements. There are 10 more achievements added, so it brings the total count up to 75 achievements in total, which is a lot. A lot more than Oblivion had. And they're fairly standard. You've got your ones for completing quests. You've got one for learning how to craft Stolherm. You've got one for taming 5 dragons. I've tamed 1, and it's very interesting to do it. There's an achievement for learning all of the dragon aspect shout, and this one's not too hard. I've got 1 word of power left to find, and that's because I found the first 2 doing the main quest. Right, the actual island itself, in my opinion, is slightly smaller than Shivering Isles. It's not as big as Shivering Isles, but that was like an entire massive expansion pack. But it's a nice size. It takes about 20 minutes to wander across the whole thing, and it's enjoyable as well to do it. This is what I was on about with the landscape. You can see the trees are burnt and they're slanted, as if a massive heat and shockwave just kind of hit into them and did that to them. Also, these spiders here that you can see, they've kind of changed because of the eruption, and there's also some burnt spriggans which will attack you. Netches are back, or as I like to call them, giant slugs. Giant flying slugs are back. And also we've got a settlement which is made of mushrooms, mushroom houses. And I was just taken so far back into my childhood when I saw this. I was like, oh, I remember me when I was a little nerd, sitting at my computer, playing a bit of Morrowind, getting told off for not doing my homework and all that crap. But in all seriousness, it was so nice to see some of these buildings again. And it's only one settlement. There's only one place where you actually see all of these, well, that I've discovered. I like this about the world as well, and the DLC in general, is that it's filled with all these little encounters like this one. A wizard learning to fly. What? I was just... Yeah, I was speechless and laughing my face off. The world is filled with little encounters like that. Like I encountered some pirates having an argument and then fighting over the treasure, which I think I found and I might do a video for. Dragons, it wouldn't be Skyrim without some dragons, and we got a new type of dragon here, a Serpentine Dragon. So we had new type of dragon added in for Dawn Guard, and now we've got a new dragon added in for Dragonborn. So it'll be nice to see if that gets added into the main world of Skyrim as well. But I just love the fact that when they do a DLC, they don't just add a new area, they add a load of new stuff and then implement it for the main game. Here we go, we got ourselves a new follower. She's very similar to Serana, except for she's not a vampire, obviously. She's a Nord, and she does restoration, destruction, and one-handed combat. She mainly uses a war axe. But, no, she's good. She's very useful. She's not as good of a follower, in my opinion, as Serana, but they've done her along the same kind of lines. Whereas Serana's just useful because she raises the dead to fight for you. I mean, that's just instantly useful. Wish I could do it in real life. Right, let's talk about some dungeon interiors now that we're actually in one. As you can see, this is a very small dungeon, but for some reason, it just looked really cool. I was really taken aback with it. I thought it was very impressive, the amount of hard work they've gone into to make these dungeons. And when you're wandering through them, watch out for traps. Look, I see that trap there. Wander around it. I don't know what happened there, whether it was me or my companions or that candlestick. Dragonborn killed with the candlestick in the dungeon. Yeah, some of the Draugr have been updated and beefed up a bit. Watch out for that. But yeah, the interiors of the dungeons, they've just done a hell of a lot of work, and they look incredibly amazing. This dungeon that I'm in now is part of the main story. There are no spoilers, don't worry. But it's just, I was wandering through it for about an hour, this one dungeon. Just because I was taking so long looking at everything, all the detail, finding all the potions and everything. There's even a sequence where you have to do a bit of parkour, a bit of climbing to get to a hidden chest. And in that hidden chest I found like flawless diamonds and all this kind of really expensive stuff to sell. There are loads of side quests with the DLC as well. An absolute ton got added. There are werebears, quests for werebears. It's nice to see them back again. That's such a fun word to say, werebears. But my verdict from this DLC? Very good. The main story could have been longer, but the fact that they've added a whole new area, a whole load of new quests, new crafting things, new enemies, new types of dragons, just makes up for it. It's definitely worth your 1,600 Microsoft points, or however much that is in dollars or pounds. Okay? Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the channel, like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.